This week on the programme, the club that knocked Manchester United off the top spot in the brand value stakes. How a local family magazine is bucking the dwindling publishing sales trend. The trick to finding that all-important human connection through content marketing, and how the Hong Kong Ballet celebrated its 40th anniversary in absolute style by expertly mashing up the dance form with pop culture. And a very warm welcome to you, and we're going to start with this as the curtain draws on another exhilarating season of football locally and abroad. Brand Finance, a leading independent brand valuation consultancy, looks at the biggest club brands globally and how they've performed across a number of metrics. In this, the 14th year of the Brand Finance Football 50 report, Real Madrid has overtaken Manchester United to become the world's most valuable football club brand. The club's recent performances saw them crowned a record third successive Champions League winner in the 2017-18 season, and the club turned over record revenues, wait for this, of just over €750 million. Real Madrid has also captured the title as the world's strongest brand, eclipsing Barcelona, who had previously held pole position. Let's talk now to Jeremy Sampson, Managing Director of Brand Finance Africa. I love this report. It's always very, very interesting. I wonder when football clubs really started becoming brands.
Jeremy, when you look at the whole thing, a lot of things weren't brands 20, 30 years ago, not just football brands. Things have become brands and brandable. What does a brand do? It's distinctive, it stands out, it generates premium profits, and it creates loyalty. And football is no different. And as you can see, most of the top clubs are coming from Spain or Britain or Italy. And those are the top clubs in the whole world.
What are they doing to grow and accelerate that brand value?
They see branding from 360 degrees. But if you look at someone like Real Madrid, you look at Manchester United, it's the totality of the experience. It's the supporters club, it's the merchandise, the event going to it, it's the people all around the world, and it's that totality of the experience which must be seamless. We've just seen Tottenham Hotspur going into a new stadium. They've been playing at Wembley for the last, I think, couple of years, and that's opened up new people coming to Wembley who live in that area to join them. Now they're in their stadium. One of the big things is the retail experience as well.
It reminds me of visiting Old Trafford a couple of years ago, and I knew that things had got absolutely ridiculous when I saw Manchester United toothpaste, which I bought, by the way, and it was very, very good. What has Real Madrid done then to knock Manchester United off the top spot?
As you're aware, branding is not something that happens instantly. It builds over time. And Real Madrid has had a fantastic run. They're still at the top. They're not doing quite so well this year, but they've had a run over the last, shall we say, 5 or 6 years. One of the first things they did was to bring in international players, the Puskás and people like that, from all around the world. And if you read the report and go on to brandfinance.com, it's available. It's totally open for everyone. You'll see how Real Madrid was almost known as the Spanish embassy, in the sense that it brought people from all around the world to play for it. And that meant that not just Spanish people, but people from all around the world related to Real Madrid.
It's not necessarily predicated on performance, is it? Because if you make a local comparison, Kaizer Chiefs, which is probably the premier football brand in this country, getting nailed by TS Galaxy in the Nedbank Cup final, but that's not really going to dent, for instance, Kaizer Chiefs' brand value. So performance is important, but not everything. It's beyond performance, isn't it?
You're right that it won't dent it, but over time, yes, it harms it. You know, Manchester United is still number 2, but we know they've been through a difficult, well, basically since Fergie left, they've been dwindling down. But it's a key aspect. If you don't start winning again, they'll be in trouble. And that's where Real Madrid, I know, are looking to come back. Bayern Munich is looking to come back. But at the moment, the hottest team in the world, probably, arguably, is someone like Manchester City, yet they haven't made the final on June the 1st.
Let's talk about stadia, because you also rank stadia in the list, and the Santiago Bernabeu tops the stadia ranking. A stadium that football fans, again, one of the cathedrals of sport around the world.
Absolutely.
Why is that so notable?
Because of, again, the experience going into the place, what goes on there, the memories, the sound, all the people. I think Real Madrid is housing 66,000 people at the moment, but it's about to embark on a 4-year program of rebuilding the stadia and adding to it.
So the in-stadia experience is almost as important as what goes on outside, perhaps even more so.
The total experience. It's the buildings around it, it's the infrastructure, it's all the signage. Again, I come back to the total experience.
And if you're a football fan, it's that sense of visceral excitement. I had the same thing when I visited Manchester, and you go into the Old Trafford precinct. It extends way beyond the stadium, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Wolverhampton Wanderers, a lot of football fans probably don't even know who they are the most valuable new entrant, ranked 28th this year. It's a venerable old club, Wolves. I think they play at Molineux. I'm just showing off there.
You're absolutely right, because I remember as well.
Why? What has it done? Why does it suddenly find itself in this position of ascendancy?
Well, it only came back into the Premier League, was it, I think, last year. They've done incredibly well. And this is where...
What does that mean, though? What have they done?
Well, they've come into the league and they finished in, I think they're in about, I'm guessing, 5th or 6th place.
But they've invested not only in players, but they've also invested in what you would say is the total experience.
Exactly. And this is where you have overseas buyers. You know, Manchester United is still owned by the Glazers, the Americans, but overseas buyers from the States, all around the world, investing in British clubs because they can make a lot of money out of them. Wolves, again, has an overseas manager. A lot of the players are overseas, but he's put together a cocktail of a team which is incredible. Wolves is a heritage brand. You're quite right when you mention Molineux and things like that. I can remember 30, 40 years ago where Wolves were almost the top side in Europe.
To what extent these days is the manager of a football team also responsible for that brand experience?
The first thing is that he's part of a team. And this is where more and more, and I think Manchester United were one of the first sides, and Real Madrid and Barcelona, they have business managers. They have a team of advisors, a lot of bankers, investment bankers as well. After all, it's an investment when you own one of those. At Manchester City...
What was that figure I just mentioned in terms of the revenue of Real Madrid? It's 750 million euro. You can do the rand conversion.
Yeah, times 13.5, whatever it is.
Telephone numbers.
It's huge. It's huge. And where does the money come from? No, part of it is attendance, but part of it the merchandise, part of the television and the broadcasting rights. But Pep Guardiola at Manchester City is the manager of the team, and even now they've got legal difficulties as we speak. He's saying, look, I'm the manager. I'm not looking after the business side. That's another team of people. They're looking after that. We have legal advisors.
Yeah, but there's got to be cross-synergy. They've got to all understand the importance
of
brand value.
But a total team working in sync. Like any brand, you've got to have a team and they must be working in sync.
How does football in brand valuation, I don't know if you ever run these numbers, compare to other sports? So if you were to look at some of the world's big rugby teams or cricket teams, probably nowhere close.
Nowhere close, and this is where football is the big thing. We've started talking, in fact, about doing rugby clubs, because that is now spread out. You know, whether it's the Lions or the Bulls or the Stormers here in the UK, the Saracens or Leicester or someone like that. But football is the big thing, and when you actually look at the attendance figures in the report, they're humongous, absolutely huge. And in fact, the country that has the biggest attendance is not Spain or Britain, it's actually Germany.
The Bundesliga.
Exactly.
Jeremy Sampson from Brand Finance, thank you very much. Always interesting and insightful. I want to stay with the football. After Kaizer Chiefs' recent loss to newcomers at TS Galaxy, we just referenced that in the Nedbank Cup final, this upbeat piece of creative is hopefully going to bring some smiles to Amakosi fan faces. Toyota, the official vehicle sponsor of the team, making the local heroes part of its popular hashtag Toyota Stories SA campaign by getting the team to take part in a little sing-along.
This song goes out to the black and gold, the chalk and cheese. Amakosi, yes please. Driven by Toyota and loved by all. Here it is.
Amakosi uwabona ngemondo, amakosi uwabona ngegolide, amakosi uwabona ngetoyota, amakosi hambela phezulu. Abafana bokuthula noxolo, abanye bathi siyenza umhlolo, Stadium sethu sisibiza ikhaya kungena thina iCrowd iyahlanya.
Hi, when Amakhosi score, make some go.
Amakhosi wabona ngemonto, amakhosi wabona ngekoli, amakhosi wabona ngetholo, amakhosi ahambela phezulu, amakhosi wabona ngemonto, amakhosi wabona ngegolide, amakhosi wabona ngeToyota, amakhosi ahambela phezulu.
Go, boys, say.
Share your story using the hashtag Toyota Stories Essay, and we could make a song about you and your Toyota.
Next on the program, how local designers have reimagined an African future for a well-known horse race, and why a local family magazine is bucking the dwindling publishing sales trend.